watching musical theater MASH. England, 1940. The city of Pepper and Jai, but you wouldn't know how to get there because all the signposts are being painted over.
In case the Nazis drop in.
The Rollins children, like all other London children, have been evacuated to the countryside to avoid those terrible bombings in the city. It is World War II, of course. In rides Miss Price, eccentric spinster, keen on receiving strange packages and not so keen on receiving the wayward Rollins.
Children and I don't get on.
The children meet the cat, meet the bed, and before they know it, it's supper time. Not the supper they're hoping for, though, as apparently they only eat ridiculously named British foods.
Sausage and mash, bubble and squeak.
The children go to sleep, and it's time for the magic to happen. Miss Price rushes to her cupboard under the stairs to unwrap her new Nimbus 2000.
My first broom.
Learning how to fly is just slow going.
Lackey pony, criffs, crumpet, leash. I wasn't ready.
Price figures it out eventually, only to be spotted by her escaping house guests.
How does she do that? 'Cause she's a witch. That's the sort of thing witches do. Oh.
We crash, we return to bed, and Charlie gets his blackmail on.
Lovely weather for flying last night.
With only moderate success.
For your information, the most accomplished of witches can't make money out of thin air. Have you ever heard of a rich witch?
But after some transfiguration, we come to an understanding over a bedknob.
Elbow, henbane, aconite. Glowworm fire, firefly light. There.
Just in time, too, because Miss Price has learned that her witchcraft correspondence course has closed down, and it's time to travel to London in person to track down Professor Emilius Brown himself.
We don't want to go to London with an unmade bed.
A song and an acid trip later, the bed apparates safely into London, where who should we encounter but Mr. Banks?
Please note the name, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Emilius Brown.
The kids in the crowd aren't impressed.
He ain't very good.
More transfiguration, some disbelief,
My spell.
another acid trip, and we land at Mr. Banks' mansion.
I found the front door open. The house was deserted.
George tries to convince Miss Price to join show business with him. We sing about her ridiculous name.
Eglantine, Eglantine, oh, how you'll shine.
And we find the missing spell book.
The rest of the book is missing.
Now you see why I closed down the college.
Dang. Guess it's time to sing a song about a street.
Portobello Road, Portobello Road,
A long song,
Portobello Road, Portobello Road.
which devolves into a dance number. A long dance number. That is until Skeezy McSkeezerson threatens Mr. Banks.
Now you have my undivided attention.
Turns out the aptly named Mr. Bookman has the other half of the book.
The spell which creates this force is 5 mystic words. These words are
Engraved on the star that was always worn by the sorcerer Astaroth.
Dang. What a coincidence that Paul stole the Isle of Naboombu book mentioned in the spell book. Time for a quick getaway. By bed. Where to next? The land of animated cigar-smoking fish, of course.
Welcome to Naboombu Lagoon.
Disney earns their Best Visual Effects Academy Award. We do some underwater dancing, and the bed is fished away by a wannabe Baloo. Mr. Banks gets his referee on. We steal the Star of Astaroth, and it's back to Pepper and Jai. Finally, time for that spell.
You have the star of Astaroth, I believe.
Oh, yes. It's in my nice clean hanky.
Dang. Paul comes to the rescue again.
You mean it was there in your book all the time?
Finally. Time to try that spell. In song, of course. But things get kind of out of hand.
That's my nightgown.
Is it really, my dear?
Yes, and I'm not responsible for its behavior.
Dang. Downtrodden and discouraged, we take a break for dinner and juggling, ask some weighty questions,
It is true, Mr. Brown. You are going to be our father now, aren't you?
and Mr. Banks gets cold feet. Little does he know the kids in Miss Price are about to be von trapped by the Nazis.
Hello? Hello?
Mr. Banks gets back just in time, though, and makes a narrow escape in the easiest way possible. Via rabbit. Now, what's a witch to do with a museum full of medieval war artifacts and a spell that makes inanimate objects come to life?
Sound the advance!
Defeat the Nazis, of course. Eglantine wins, the Nazis flee, Mr. Banks joins the army, and presumably England wins the war. Or something.
After all, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction after all. After all, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction.